Today on the Happy House, spring fever is in the air. We start out the morning with this delicious blueberry pancake sheet cake. And then for dinner, I'm going to show you how to make my own favorite lemon soup. This soup is so refreshing and perfect for springtime. And to go with it, I'm going to show you how to make this spring flower bloom bread. It is so cute and so delicious. Plus, I'm going to show you DIY flower pots, all right now on the Happy House. We're going to start our morning with this delicious blueberry sheet pancake. Now, I like to do things semi-homemade because it saves me time, and time is valuable to me. So, to save us some extra steps, we're going to start out with our favorite buttermilk pancake mix. Just take 2 cups of your favorite buttermilk pancake mix and place it in a mixing bowl. Next, add about 2 cups of milk or fresh buttermilk. If your batter's too runny, simply add some more pancake mix. You want it to be a nice thick batter. Next, you're going to beat in 2 eggs and about 1 to 2 teaspoons of Mexican vanilla. And just for fun, I bought this cake batter flavor just to give it a little bit of extra sweetness. And last, add in about 2 tablespoons of raw honey. This is going to be your final sweetener for your pancake batter. Next, you're going to need 2 cans of blueberry pie filling. And then about a half a cup of lemon curd. I've purchased all of this at Walmart. Take an empty baking sheet and bake it in the oven for about 10 minutes at 350 degrees until it's nice and hot. Then take it out of the oven and spray it with cooking spray. Pour both cans of blueberry pie filling onto the hot cookie sheet. You'll hear the blueberries begin to sizzle. Next, I like to add some additional blueberries, so I just use frozen organic blueberries and sprinkle those around to fill in the gaps. Next, place spoonfuls of lemon curd all over your blueberry filling. Then take a spoon and spread it around evenly. Once that's blended together well, it's time to add the batter. But before we do that, I've decided to grate some fresh lemon zest over my filling, because why not? And the last step is to pour the batter over the top of your filling. Spread it out evenly so there's no gaps. Bake at 350 degrees for about 12 minutes. Meanwhile, we've put some frozen hash browns into our waffle maker to get some crispy hash brown squares. This is going to be delicious. The pancake is ready. We've taken it out of the oven and we don't want to wait for this to cool. We want to eat it while it's nice and hot. Spread some butter over the cake, allowing it to melt. Next, cut your pancake into squares and dish it up on a serving plate. I like to use real maple syrup for this recipe. Top your pancake slices with sweetened vanilla Greek yogurt. I like to make my own. I simply take plain Greek yogurt and add Mexican vanilla and my favorite sweetener. Whip that together, put a dollop on top, and garnish it with some lemon peel and fresh or frozen blueberries. Dust it off with some powdered sugar. My 6-year-old was in love with this recipe. He couldn't stop eating it. All day long he said, "Mom, I can't stop eating this. I can't stop sneaking into it. It's my favorite. It's all I want. It's all I think about." He was so sad the second day when there were no more leftovers. This is the most delicious blueberry pancake recipe we have ever had. I hope you enjoy it as much as we did. So these pots we painted last spring, and they're already peeling because I left them out all winter. So because I left them out all winter, all the paint chipped away. So we're just gonna freshen them up and they'll be ready to plant some fresh flowers in. So instead of spending $20 to $50 on a nice flower pot, I like to just buy cheap terracotta pots. They're just a few dollars, and then I spray paint them the color that I want to decorate with. Last year we went with this color, and I still have plenty of it left, so we're just going to touch it up again this year. You just want to peel off anything that's flaking. You can just take some light sandpaper and go over the outside of your pots and quickly just scrape off anything that's starting to peel. And once you've got it smoothed down, just go ahead and put on another coat of paint. But for me, I don't mind a little bit of that cracked paint erosion look because I think it looks a little bit rustic and vintage, and personally, that's what I like. So I'm definitely not a perfectionist with these kinds of projects because that's kind of the look I'm going for. And there you have it, freshly planted and painted flower pots. My son Gabe did the honors of planting the flowers, and he did a great job. After a day of gardening, we've all worked up an appetite for dinner. Time to make our lemon soup and flour bread. So because it's springtime, I thought we could make a springtime kind of meal. I created this soup a couple years ago that I love, especially at springtime. I don't know what it is about it, probably because it's lemony and it's light. It's perfect for this time of year. And then I have this little gadget here that someone gave me as a gift about 10 years ago, and I've never used it. And every year I tell myself, that's something I'm going to use in the springtime. But out of sight, out of mind. So I finally remembered it and I got it out, and we are going to make some flower-shaped bread to go with our lemon soup, and maybe add in one more thing just for fun. So let's get to work. We're gonna just use 1 can of pizza crust. We're gonna spray our baking tube and the lids with cooking oil. Put the bottom lid on first, then we're going to put our pizza dough inside. It's going to fill it up about halfway, just like so. And then you're going to take the lid that has the hole in the top and put it on, and now it's ready for the oven. We're going to put this in the oven at 375 degrees for about 57 minutes. And while that's baking, we're going to go ahead and make our chicken soup. Take about 8 chicken tenders and place them in a microwave-safe dish. Fill the dish halfway with warm water. And cook for 10 to 12 minutes until the chicken is almost completely boiled. Next, add 32 ounces of low-sodium chicken broth into your soup pot. Then add about 4 cups of warm water. Turn the heat up to medium-high and begin to bring your soup to a low boil. Next, add 2 tablespoons of butter into your soup. Now we're going to add 2 packages of flavored rice. I've chosen herb and butter. It just gives it a nice, smooth, buttery flavor. It's very light. And I'm going to add about 2 packages. Now later, as the rice expands, I'm going to need to add more liquid so that it's a soup and not just a rice. Now that my chicken's done, I'm going to chop it up and place it in the soup and allow all of these ingredients to simmer together. Then I'm going to add 1 cup of sliced green onions. It's starting to look so delicious. Next, I'm going to beat together 2 eggs and pour the egg mixture into the boiling soup. Be sure to stir continuously until the egg mixture has been fully distributed throughout the soup. Next, add 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And then 2 tablespoons of freshly grated lemon zest. Last, add in some basil. I think some chopped lemongrass would also be nice with this. And then you're going to add your final lemon flavoring. Sometimes I will use lemon essential oil, and other times, like today, I will use lemon extract. If you decide to use the lemon essential oil, you only need a few drops because it's very potent. However, Don't put the oil in until after the soup is done boiling, or you'll change the chemical properties and you'll lose those natural health benefits. Simmer your soup on low for about 10 to 15 minutes. The boys went to the nursery and loaded up on produce for the garden. We've got all kinds of herbs and vegetables, and Manuel is ready to plant. This is the first year I haven't helped in the garden, so this is definitely new, but I'm not complaining. We've got rhubarb from last year, peppers and chives, and Ace is absolutely thrilled about the cucumbers. Our curry and our lemon balm comes back every year, so does the ginger mint. You can tell the boys are not fans of tomatoes, so I'll definitely need to add more tomato plants because this won't do for canning. And I think the strawberry box needs some TLC, but it's time to check on the bread. And this bread is ready to come out. This fluted cooking tube has done an amazing job baking this bread. It's come out nice and golden. It's soft, it's hot, and it's ready to be eaten. Slice up your bread on a bread cutting board, and you're going to cut the bread slices into about 1.5 inches of thickness. This will cut about 8 slices. Then take a stick of chilled butter out of the fridge and slice it into squares. From there, find something round shaped, such as the cap from a bottle. Place it on the center of your squares of butter and press down to get these circular shaped slices of butter that are going to be the center of our flowers. If you don't have a round cap you can also just use a paring knife. And dinner is served. I've prepared a fresh green salad with a light, sweet, creamy vinaigrette to go with our lemon soup and our flour bread. And of course, this wouldn't be complete without some fresh squeezed mint lemonade. Delicious. Enjoy!